Okay. Well, welcome everyone to another UXPA webinar Wednesdays. Today we have Joanna Sidishu. She is here to talk about designing behavior change with AI, how anticipation can transform user experience. Welcome, Joanna. Without further ado, I will let you take it over.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So, hi everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm thrilled to dive into this exciting topic, designing behavior change with AI. So, over the next 40 minutes, more or less, we will explore how we can design effective behavior change with anticipatory experience in this age of AI. So, this talk can be especially relevant for those designing or developing AI-driven solutions or working just in UX or product management, or anyone curious about building technology that truly helps people while delivering business value. But before we get started, let me just briefly introduce myself and share how I became passionate about behavior change and anticipatory design. So, since my early days as a design student, I always been fascinated by this intersection of human behavior and technology. And since then, I have been working across industries like fintech and learning, accounting, retail, and now manufacturing. But what I most like in my job is the fact I'm able to witness firsthand how technology is transforming our personal and professional lives. Back in 2016, while I was designing a personalized recommendation system for an e-learning platform, I discovered my love for big data and machine learning, and that was my gateway into specializing in UX for AI, data-driven design, and UX strategy. This journey led me to pursue a PhD around UX for AI, and since then have been sharing my research and insights with multiple design communities throughout different platforms like Medium, UX Matters, Mesh Magazine, and on top of that, I have the teaching has been always close to my heart, and I've been continuing lecturing human-centered designs and topics related with that since 2013. Now, enough about me. So let's talk about why we are here today. So in this session, I will share how to design AI systems that encourage sustainable behavior change. First, we will reflect on how today's technology impacts our cognitive bandwidth, and then I will share proven frameworks from the behavior science and explore how to apply them to create meaningful and impactful AI solutions. And finally, we will wrap up with a Q&A. If I don't get to all of your questions, feel free to contact me on my LinkedIn. I would love to continue this conversation or just to say hello. So, before diving further into the main topic, let's take a moment to reflect on how we experience digital service today. So, picture this: it's 7 a.m. and your alarm rings, reminding you that you have a new workday ahead. You reach your phone, still half asleep, and hoping for a gentle start of your morning. But instead, you are greeted by an array of notifications. 100 emails, urgent emails from your manager, each seeming more critical than the last. Or you have new 333 messages on your Slack. Or you have a cheerful nudge from your fitness tracker remind you to drink water or get active, because clearly fitness apps have higher expectations of our mornings that we do. And of course, there are the endless social media updates, each one calling for our attention like it's the most important thing in the world. So, In an act of self-preservation, you swipe them all away. But like a hydra, for every notifications you dismiss, more seems to coming along the day. By noon, you have already spent a significant chunk of your mental bandwidth on these what feels like small inconsequent decisions. So you start your day thinking, what's the weather so I can choose my outfit? Which email deserve my immediate attention? And which one can wait until tomorrow, until next week? Do I have time for a breakfast or should I attempt a quick workout instead? All of these thoughts flourish throughout the day. And as the day goes on, your cognitive bandwidth shrinks. By evening, even choosing what to watch on the Netflix feels like a monumental task. So here's the challenge. The huge volume of information we are bombarded with daily far exceed what our remarkable brains were designed to handle. So human brains weren't designed for this relentless influx of data. So, for technology users like us, particularly those who engage with high interaction platforms like e commerce, productivity tools, or social media, the cognitive state is amplified. So, what was once a tool for survival now leaves us overwhelmed and exhausted. And what is the main cause of for all of this? Information overload. So this phenomena isn't just a personal struggle, it's a design problem. In our hyper-connected world, the tools meant to simplify our lives often have the unintended consequence of adding complexity. So I feel that technology today, instead of simplifying our lives, often amplifies stress by overwhelming us with choice and information. And I think we, as designers or technologists or just thinkers, we must ask ourselves how can we create systems that respect human cognitive limits while empowering users to thrive? And this raises a critical question. How can technology alleviate rather than amplify the mental burden it creates? So, in my perspective, this is where behavior change design and anticipatory design can be transformative. Behavior change design helps users build better habits and make healthier choices and decisions, while anticipatory design takes this further, aiming to predict our needs and act on our behalf. Together, through AI, these approaches have the potential to revolutionize how we interact with technology, transforming it from a source of stress into a tool that acts more like a helpful partner than the demanding child. At this point, we need to address some challenge here. So first, how can we design AI systems that reduce cognitive strain while maintaining user control? And second, how do we balance automation with user agency? For me, these are some of the critical questions that we should be addressing in our field in this AI era, because we are living the consequences and the psychological damage of this digital age. So, to answer them, let's first understand behavior, how it changed, and how we can support users on this journey to achieve long-term goals. Behavior change isn't one size fits all. We all know that each of us respond to motivation. We we are motivated differently, meaning that we respond to different triggers and factors. Therefore, when designing for behavior change, it's critical to help our users to understand their journey, help them commit to their goals, and guide them toward their desired outcome. But do we need to design for behavior change in all of our solutions? Of course not. Behavior change is especially critical in experience where the product or the service is designed to address a gap between the user's current state and their desired state. So business often forget or fail to recognize that behavior is not a constant variable. This means that behavior isn't static, it evolves over time. So think of any journey you ever started, like learning a new skill or using a new app. At start, motivation is high. You are enthusiastic about this new goal or new thing. But over time, if motivation is not motivated in the right direction, it often decreases. So we need to explore how behavior change over time and how can we use anticipatory design to support users on this fluctuating journey. But before that, let's look at some core principles of anticipatory design first. So anticipatory design emerges as a response to information overload. In the 19th century, philosopher, I hope I'm saying his name correctly, so Kierkegaard described anxiety as caused by too many choice. Very fast forward to 2004, psychologist Barry Schwartz, in his work The Paradox of Choice, highlighted how an excess of options diminish decision quality and satisfaction. Building on these ideas, in 2015, Aaron Shapiro, the CEO of the Age Agency, defined anticipatory design for the digital age as responding to needs one step ahead. So these approaches leverage AI to simplify choices, reduce cognitive load, and create more intuitive experience. Anticipatory design operates on this principle that by analyzing user data, like past behavior, preference, and contextual factors, can be used to predict and fulfill users' needs before they arise. So business, of course, they are naturally drawn to this idea as it promises smoother interactions that delight the users, customer loyalty through a proactive service, and rich insights from behavior data to support the business. Therefore, with AI and machine learning, we can now build systems that learn from users' behavior, predict choice, and even suggest action. This capability paves the way to what I call anticipatory experience. And these solutions are designed to proactively meet user needs and elevate engagement to a whole new level. But despite its transformative promise, this design approach often struggles to succeed in today's market. And why is that? Because it frequently misinterprets the complexities of effective human-centered design and and the complexities of long-term human behavior. The result is a disconnection. Instead of seamlessly integrating into users' lives, these systems feel intrusive, irrelevant, and even frustrating. So this challenge us to rethink how we balance this cutting-edge technology with a deep understanding of human needs and behavior. Here, as AI gains more agency, user expectations start to shift. While anticipatory systems aim to predict user needs, they can inadvertently undermine their autonomy. So, over-automation can lead to mistrust and disengagement by limiting the user control over the system. Therefore, finding the right balance between automation and user agency is crucial for a positive and an empowering AI user experience. Anticipatory design holds this immense potential, but when poorly executed, it risks becoming a double-edged sword, leading to unintended consequences. And most of the time, this comes from inaccurate predictions. And this can leave the users feeling misunderstood and unsupported, damaging users' trust in the system. And then we have over-automation that can strip users of control, leading to frustration and a sense of helplessness. To truly succeed, anticipatory systems must prioritize human needs. And they need to respect the user autonomy, provide clear expectations for their actions, and empower users to maintain control throughout the experience. So, this design approach, when done right, has the power to reduce information overload by presenting only the relevant data, has the power to minimize decision fatigue by streamlining decision and choices, and help us save time by automating repetitive tasks, for example, and freeing us to focus on more creative and strategic tasks, and promote conversions and loyalty because it frames information more effectively and timely. So, okay, anticipatory design sounds like a perfect solution for today's digital problem, right? But there's a catch. While anticipatory design has the power to revolutionize the experience, its successful implementation, unfortunately, comes with significant challenge. First, there's the data privacy and trust. Users today are more conscious than ever about how their personal data is collected and used. So, without clear safeguards and transparency in the system, privacy concerns can quickly damage trust. And then we have the over-automation and the user agency. While automation can simplify decisions, relying too heavily on it can backfire. And users may feel like they have lost control over their own experience. And plus, there is also the bubble experience factor or issue, where users are only served a set of recommendations that match their behavior or preference, blocking them from the opportunity to explore new ideas or perspectives. And finally, we have the data bias and quality. Anticipatory systems are only good as the data they were built on. So poor quality or biased data can lead to inaccurate predictions, leading users frustrated or misunderstood. And in some cases, these errors can even put the user well-being in risk. So these challenges are not just technicals, they are human. So overcoming them requires thoughtful design, transparent communication, and constant evaluation of how systems serves the people who use them. And this leads us to a very interesting conundrum. One core principle of anticipatory design, as I mentioned previously, is to reduce the number of choices to alleviate the decision fatigue. But here's the risk. If you simplify too much, users may feel restricted or coerced, which leads to frustration and a sense of lost control. So let's look to a real example to see how all of these pieces come together in practice. So in this example, meet vSense. This product was marked as the first AI-powered headphones, promising to revolutionize fitness coaching. So imagine a personal trainer in your ears offering real-time guidance, encouragement, and coaching you every step of the way. This product was launched 7 years ago, and it promised that more than just a fitness tracker. It aimed to create personalized fitness journeys with a conversational AI that felt more like a friend than a machine. But despite its ambitious vision, Vicent struggled to meet user expectations. And let me explore with you why this pioneer product with so much potential ultimately fell short. Vicent was marketed as a real-time AI coach, but its inflexible system only worked for running outdoors, excluding other activities like cycling or indoor workouts. So, despite its innovative features, this solution felt rigid and overly tailored to beginner runners. With it had just 6 predefined goals, so advanced runners felt constrained or underserved. Moreover, Field also failed to anticipate users' performance or adapt to changing conditions, undermining its promise of a personalized adapting coaching. And this formed a gap between the promise of a truly adapted real-time AI coaching and the reality of its limit and inflexible functionality. And this felt many users frustrated and ultimately disengaged. And like many products, we rely on initial excitement to engage users. So if you brought the headphones on your first day, you would be very motivated because of this novelty AI coach. However, that enthusiasm could quickly fail as the system limitations like poor voice recognition, rigid and preset coaching option, this encourage you exploring and made the experience feel a little bit monotonous. So a successful AI fitness coach should adapt to users' evolving needs and goals, such as transforming from a beginner runner to an advanced runner. And Vicent failed to provide this adaptability, ultimately leading to disengagement and decline in user satisfaction. But by day 15, many users hit a critical wall. So if we look to the fitness market, this is already filled with contradictory advices and an overwhelming choices, leading to frustration and decisions fatigue. The offerings are so many in the market that we don't know what we should choose, what is best, what works, what doesn't work. And Vicent's position itself as the solution for this overwhelming, promising to simplify this chaos with this anticipatory design approach. However, the reality was quite different. Users struggled with the system rigid and lack of control, leaving advanced runners particularly dissatisfied as they had no clear path to progression. So, this was the turning point where habits could either take root or fall apart. And for many V users, the system failed to provide adapted, personalized support, leading to abandonment. So, research shows that it takes about 21 days to form a habit. By this point, users experience typically fall in 2 categories. Habits are flourish, users feel support, they see progress, and they remain motivated with the service, or habits die. Users feel their expectations are unmet, and it lacks of adaptability, cause users to disengage. And in this survey, and in the previous service, we lacked a strategy for sustaining long-term motivation. It didn't adapt to users' evolving needs or provide personalized encouragement when it matters the most. So frustration with this V service limitation pushed many users to abandon the product entirely. And this is the target where business should look to their retention rate. So to summarize, Vincent's story reminds us that designing for behavior change is more than just design cool features or explore advanced technology. It's about truly understanding and supporting the users throughout their journey. There are at least three main takeaways we can take from this example. So first, we have to learn how to balance automation with flexibility. Users want guidance, but they need control over their experience. And second, have a strategy for sustained motivation and ability. This will help you provide long-term adaptive support that evolves with the user needs and requirements. And finally, understand how to prioritize behavior change. Technology should empower users to form sustainable habits, not to overshadow their goals over time. So examples like V highlight a crucial lesson. Designing for behavior change requires a deep understanding of human psychology and a commitment to continuous adaptation. So without this understanding, even the most sophisticated technology ultimately failed to achieve its desired impact. So at its core, we'll need to learn how to leverage behavior science to help users change habits, make smarter decisions, and help them achieve long-term results. So, for me, frameworks like the Fogg behavior model offer a powerful lens for understanding behavior. At its core, Fogg's model teaches that designing for behavior change requires three key factors: motivation, ability, and prompt. The behavior model shows that these three elements must converge at the same moment for a behavior to occur. First, think of motivation. Why does the user care? The user must have a strong reason to engage in the behavior. And then the ability. Can the users perform the behavior? The users must have the necessary skill, resources, and environment to perform the behavior. And finally, prompt. What triggers the action? A trigger must initiate a desired action. And this model emphasizes that designing for behavior change requires a careful consideration of all of these elements. And if any of these elements is missing or insufficient, the desired behavior is unlikely to occur. So many businesses began with the ability element because they believe by providing a solution, like we created the real-time coaching headphones, is enough to change behavior. But giving users the ability to achieve something doesn't guarantee they will follow through. So without the right balance of motivation and prompt, even the best design tools can fail to create lasting change. But like we, many businesses forget or don't know how to focus on motivation. They overlook the critical role of motivation in driving behavior change. We will delve deeper into this shortly, but the main takeaway here is that we, despite this technological breakthrough, neglect to fully address the why behind the user's desire to work out and especially run. So, designing for behavior change requires a profound understanding of the human motivation. It's not enough to simply identify a problem and create a solution. We must also understand the magnitude of the problem. How strongly does the user desires to change? Identify internal and external motivators what factors drive the user's desires for change, and aligning interventions with the user needs. The approach must resonate with the user's unique motivations and provide ongoing support that aligns with their individual goals. These factors are very important, especially in industries like learning or healthcare, where we are creating solutions that aim to change the user habits to more healthy ones or productive ones. So the other thing about behavior is understanding how people have tried to solve the problem before or currently. How your ability to solve a problem will be better than the others. How will you reduce the information overflow of decision fatigue of people to efficiently design for behavior change? Finally, we have prompts. Prompts are critical. They kickstart the entire behavior change process. According to Fogg, there are three types of prompts. Sparks, they are emotional triggers that create motivation. Then we have facilitators. These are tools that simplify actions. And then we have signals that are reminders that prompts the behavior. But we don't have the time to dive deep here. Understanding these prompts can help you craft intervention that resonate with your users. But while the behavior model offers a strong starting point, designing for AI-driven solutions, in my perspective, it demands a broader toolkit. To effectively design for behavior change and anticipatory design, we can borrow from behavior science these two additional frameworks. The trans-theoretical model, it will map a person's readiness for change, and the nudge theory, which guides users toward better decision and choice through subtle, non-coercive interventions. And AI amplifies this process by enabling real-time feedbacks, personalization, and adaptive nudges, but aligning these features with user needs remains the real challenge. So the first model, the trans-theoretical model, views behavior as a journey through 5 stages: pre-contemplation, contemplation, preparation, action, and maintenance. Vicent failed because it didn't address users in the pre-contemplation or contemplation stage. They lost the opportunity to explore these stages. As far as I know, we didn't offer gentle prompts like, did you know that running 10 minutes can boost your mode for hours? Instead, it was designed to only target users already in the action stage, providing very generic coaching according to users' feedback. And also did not do a great job either in the maintenance stage. So designing for behavior change requires aligning nudges and interventions to user stage, ensuring relevance and adaptability. Oops, it's not changing. Okay. So last but not least, nudge theory. This theory reinforced the importance of well-timed interventions. And this theory is especially relevant under anticipatory design. So to design impactful anticipatory experience, we need to consider these 4 principles. Align incentives with desired behaviors, provide clear and immediate feedback to reinforce actions, and simplify choices and decision-making in complex scenarios, and make goals and performance status visible throughout the system feedback loops. These elements turn nudge into a powerful tool to support behavior change and sustain motivation. So, in my perspective, to design effective behavior change in anticipatory design, we must combine these frameworks. These 3 models work together to address needs and drive better outcomes. So let's explore how they can be efficiently integrated. If we combine these previous frameworks, we now have an effective way to design successful anticipatory experience that sustain behavior change. We need the user agency to emphasize control and autonomy to foster control and trust. We need personalization to adapt the user stage of change to align with their needs. And last, we need the timely interventions to guide users effectively to guide decisions at the right moment to reduce frustration. When these three models overlaps, we create systems that empower users, adapt to their needs, and guide them towards long-term results. So we need the user agency from the behavior model because users must feel they have control over their actions. If users feel that the system is coercive or manipulative, they are less likely to engage with the system. So we need to empower users to make decisions even when we need to nudge them in a particular direction. This will help maintain their autonomy while guiding them toward better decisions or choice. For example, behavior change is most effectively when people feel they have control over their actions, which is crucial to foster long-term engagement and trust in particularly in AI systems. Then we need personalization from the trans-theoretical model because we saw previously, behavior is not static. Individuals move through different stages and when trying to evolve or adapt or adopting new behaviors. So personalized interventions tailored to the user's different stage of changes are more impactful than generic one-size-fits-all approaches. So this principle is deeply embedded in behavioral psychology, where messaging and interventions tailored to the individual needs are shown to be more effective in sustaining behavior change. For instance, a learning app might adapt its difficulty levels according to the user proficiency, personalizing the experience to try to maximize the engagement. Finally, when thinking of anticipatory experience, we need to think of timely interventions. Therefore, we need to adopt the concept of nudging. This theory advocates for interventions that are delivered at the right moment to encourage positive behavior without coercion. So timely nudges simplify to significantly increase the likelihood of desire to change because they are delivered when the user most when the user most needs that prompt. So to wrap up all of these session, designing behavior change with AI requires more than technology. It's an opportunity to make a real difference. We have the power to create systems that reduce cognitive strain, inspire healthier habits, and brings meaningful change to people's life. So aligning these frameworks can help us design AI services that guide the users gently, use personalization and timely interventions to inspire action, and instead of viewing user journey solely as a pre-interaction, interaction, and post-interaction phase, consider how to engage users at different stage of change to create behavior change. And also try to incorporate strategy like 20-day motivation plan to sustain engagement and retain users efficiently for long-term outcomes for your business. Thank you very much for being here, and I hope you enjoy these presentations, and I'm looking for your feedback.
Thank you so much, Joanna. Okay, we're going to open it now for questions. So please, if you have a question for Joanna, please put that in the Q&A and we will get to it. So Looks like we've got our first question here from an anonymous attendee. I'm going to read it out loud to you, Joanna. Have you explored any lessons learned from public health, behavioral change methods that you've been able to apply in UX design, especially in terms of encouraging positive user behaviors and improving outcomes?
Yeah, unfortunately, healthcare is not an industry I have worked. Um, so I don't have any any personal feedback or experience to share. But mm, the line I try to explore in this presentation between user agency and automation is especially important in this type of industries. So industries that may or may not interfere with the well-being of a human, we need to be more diligent on the way we design this service because the impact they can have on the human being is very high. So we should use the nudge theory to think how can we design good prompts to improve the behavior change, but always keep the user over control. Don't feel that the system is is a black box that they don't comprehend how the decisions are being made or why is receiving certain recommendations. Um, Healthcare and financial service, I think, are the most critical industries where these theories can be very, very useful to design more diligent user experience that take in consideration the well-being of the people. I don't know if I answer your question as you hope to.
Thank you, Joanna. Um, I've got another question here for you. Um, it says, when focusing on behavior change, do you see any value in training users to increase their attention span, especially considering that our attention span seems to be shrinking despite our constant attachments to devices? How can UX design balance this trend while still driving engagement and effective behavior change?
That's why I wanted to bring the anticipatory design topic here, because I think we can use this design approach to mitigate that, because currently solutions do a very poor job on that. They are always asking for our attention. For example, Duolingo, it, it's awful. It makes us feel so bad that we don't engage with the app. Um, so I don't think they are promoting behavior change with their approach at all, because it's consciously overwhelming us and making us feel bad with ourselves. So I think we can use these type of frameworks and create more human solutions that explore how human triggers motivation and their ability so we can design behavior change for the long term, not just for the first or the second week. Otherwise, we'll have very poor retention rates in this type of AI solutions. And I think that's one of the main reasons why we see so many business in failing in the AI domain, because they are too focused on the technical part and not giving as much attention as need to the human behavior. What motivates us to interact with something or change our behavior, or feel comfortable to delegate some decisions we were used to make to technology.
Yeah, thank you for that answer. I quit Duolingo months ago. It's too much. It's too much. Okay, we've got another question here. Says earlier you mentioned the role of AI in alleviating anticipatory bias. Could you expand on that specifically? How can AI be used to minimize bias while ensuring the data being streamlined for users remains both relevant and fair?
Okay, so one of the approach I was able to adopt in previous designs is to showcase to the user if they are an outlier or not with the data that the algorithm was trained with. I think try to explore mechanisms to provide this feedback to the users, increase the transparency, helps build trust, and the user's expectations of the system are more aligned because we are communicating, hold on, we train this service with this data, but your behavior or requirement seems to be a little bit outside of our training variables. So you might receive poor predictions or things that are not towards your expectations. So we have to deal what we have. If we can't have better data and the data is biased, as designers, we can try to explore ways to communicate that to the user. So ultimately, the user has the control over the system and don't feel that is being misjudged or misunderstood by the AI. I think that's why I said that this is not just a technological issue. It's is a design problem as well, because we have the power to alleviate these bias and misunderstandings in this type of services. It's just a matter of exploring mechanisms to bring more transparency and feedback to the system.
Yeah, thank you for that. All right, if anyone else has any questions, feel free to drop it in the Q&A. Um, but until any other questions go on, I'll give a little spiel about what UXPA International has going on lately. So if you enjoyed this, hopefully you did. There is another webinar Wednesday planned for January. It's going to be on January 15th at 12 o'clock noon Eastern Time. Um, it is on the trends and insights on the 2024 UX salaries. This is being presented by Measuring You, and they're going to talk a bit about their insights about what they learned about, compensation, benefits, education, experience levels of the UX roles. So they'll talk about all of that next January 15th. So you can go ahead, check out uxp.org in order to register for that webinar. I think the registration link is coming soon. But yeah, it will be there soon. The other thing, if you enjoyed Joanna speaking, there is a conference coming up. The annual UXPA conference is going to be in Amsterdam in June. Um, we are just as a preference, the conference committee is sending out the acceptances for the speakers next week. So there's nothing official, but I did see Joanna Cerejo's name on the wall. So I believe her speech has been accepted. Yay. And so if you want to see her and learn more about all the things that she's doing in this great work, yeah, come to Amsterdam, come to the conference. Yeah. And again, that'll be, uxpa.org. You can find information about that. But hey, we have another question. Um, we've got a question that says for Joanna here. In your opinion, what can be done to balance the effect of the bubble of over-personalization? How can a system implementing AI be designed to not let people feel entrapped in their own preferences?
Oh, that's a very difficult question. And I think it will depend on the industry we are designing for, because it's very easier to come up with in-between solutions in the entertainment space. I think Netflix already tried that with suggest me something random to see. So to overcome this experience bubble issue. But in industries like financial health, this is a very tricky topic. In e-learning, I have mixed feelings because sometimes we need to focus on a topic because it's because of our work, but I think we can create mechanisms to trigger the user to new things. Um, yeah, I don't know if I effectively answered your question, but I think it will depend greatly on the industry we are trying to design for. And entertainment has the better space to explore more creative solutions to this issue. But if we try to communicate how the algorithm was trained, in which kind of variables, maybe we have an idea um, how they are seeing our behavior and preference, and maybe give control to the user to optimize that, saying, okay, be more freely around these metrics or those metrics, so I can come across with the things that are unexpected for me, and don't fix too much on my preference, like Spotify do currently. It has a very great job in putting us in an experience bubble. The algorithm is very good to just show what we are used to listen or what are our preference. It's very hard to come across something completely different that we were expecting it.
Thank you for that answer. Yep. Again, if anybody else has any questions, please drop it in the Q&A. Um, but for now, the only other announcement I have is, if anybody would like to volunteer for UXP International, you can find out how, uxpa.org. We are looking for volunteers for some events that we've got coming up in the springtime or in the or kind of in the next few months. So we are always looking for volunteers. And if you are a volunteer, thank you so much. Yay. I- Any other questions? So with that, Joanna, thank you so much. This was an amazing presentation. This was really informative. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you for the
Yeah,
opportunity. I
yeah.
really enjoyed the experience. Thank you so much.
Awesome. And if anybody does want to connect with Joanna, she's got her LinkedIn right there on the screen. And so anyways, thank you so much. Yep. Everybody have a great rest of the year. See you all in 2025. Bye, everyone.
Bye bye. Thank you.